What is up, you guys? Today I am going over questions that have either been in my email, in my DMs of the Creator Chat podcast Instagram, in the comments on the YouTube creator coaching page, and also just questions that I'm asked a lot. I kind of gathered them all, whether it's about artificial intelligence, YouTube with artificial intelligence. I wanted to answer some of these questions if that way you guys have them. A lot of them I have in community groups and stuff like that people have asked and I've never just really gotten to. And some of this stuff is just like the basics. So even if you're not interested in being coached by me, it's things that you should know or you should at least have like an idea of, I think. So these questions kind of are all over the place, again, regarding artificial intelligence and YouTube, but I wanted to give it a place where everyone can kind of learn from it. I've been doing it for a while now, and some of the questions that were there at the time that I was being asked them, I was still learning the platforms. AI and YouTube is something that's growing at such an accelerated, fast rate, and even though I've been doing it for so many years, every single day something new comes out, and there's just more and more to catch up with. So sometimes I was getting questions on topics that I was still learning, and if you're familiar with my journey, you know that anytime I've done anything with YouTube or with content creation, before I even get into it, I take the time to kind of like learn it and teach myself and study through YouTube and other videos and tutorials and people who know it better than me. And then after a while, I'm always happy to share my experiences, and my experience has been great. As someone who started in YouTube before there was AI, it feels like a blessing to have an assistant or some help per se going forward in my content creation journey. So I never want to push the idea of don't use any of your thoughts or don't use your brain and have AI do everything. My strategy is to kind of use AI as a crutch and assistant to an already super powered, great creative brain, if you know what I mean, because that's what succeeds in content creation, and specifically that's what succeeds on YouTube is original, authentic, raw, and beautiful ideas. Whether it's in entertainment or in education, it has to be something substantial. And I know that AI can think of a lot of things that can offer that, but it's over the months and over the years that we now have access to this, it's kind of like washed out a little bit. Like there's so much of so many things that now it's becoming that it's the authenticity and the realness and the non-AI that sticks out. So my true advice is to always mix the two together. So do what you want with that, but just a little forefront from me. So some of these questions that I have here. Okay, first one. How do I use AI to brainstorm video ideas without them feeling robotic? The best way is to have your ideas first. So I keep a pen and a paper by me, and my ideas, my video ideas, everything's coming from me first. And then if I want to tweak the title, I'm putting in my title of my video idea into AI system. My particular favorite is Gemini, which ironically, that's the AI system that's actually within YouTube that you can use now to check out your titles, check out your description box, check out your analytics of your title. So it's nice because if you use Gemini to kind of craft the support and the structure of your channel from thumbnails to titles, you also are being judged by Gemini within YouTube. So it kind of just all ties together really nicely. So use your own pen and paper. Like don't just jump right to AI just because it's there. It's gonna be flat, it's gonna not be authentic, and it's gonna come across as that. Like if it's all artificial, it's gonna be exactly that. So you wanna make sure you show something real. So I always keep a pen and paper. Everything's my ideas, my vision, and I love to have it tweaked and altered and supported by AI is my whole journey. So use your idea, put it into AI. That's way it won't be robotic. When it comes out, it's your idea morphed into something else. And then even when you get that final product, tweak that. Make sure it matches what you want and your vision rather than just what AI is there for you. Another question is, what are the best AI tools for voiceovers that actually sound human in 2026? So I have over 9 YouTube channels right now, and a lot of them are faceless, and thankful for AI to be faceless, and I do use voiceovers. I don't have a sponsorship for this, but 11 Labs is absolutely good if you guys are looking for that. I don't want to gatekeep, that's what I use. It has the strongest voices that like sound professional and sound real while they're still AI. So you do get that, skip that workload of using your own voice, but you do want to make sure, again, like use your brain, make sure the voice matches the brand that you're trying to do, and also be ready to spend a little coin, because if you have a fast growing YouTube channel and you're doing voiceovers, always make sure that you have enough, because you'll need credits. So make sure you're putting into your business, not too much, because if you're not making money yet, you don't need to be going crazy getting all those credits, making them all. Start at a certain point and then grow. I remember when I first started Faceless, I did like, a small account, basically a small account subscription, and then as time went on and I had more channels and I was making money, I was able to kind of like get more credits and create more content. But I started small, and I remember I was like, let me just see how this works and see how people, kind of react to it. And that's how I kind of got to this conclusion, because at a time where I was pushing more artificial intelligence and more just all AI, that's when things were kind of more stagnant for me. And then the more I used my vision and my ideas and used AI as more of a crutch, that's when I saw more of an improvement in all of like my analytics, my revenue, everything. So another question is, can I truly automate a YouTube channel, or do I still need to be hands-on? And honestly, the answer is you can do both. Between all the channels that I run, some I'm still running as me, but completely me. But some, like the Faceless ones, you can set up. YouTube allows you to do that setup where you can schedule out videos. So when you're talking about, can you truly automate a YouTube channel? Absolutely. If you know what's coming next and the content is easy enough to produce at a mass level, you can set your videos up to be scheduled out Monday through Friday, 3 videos a week, whatever you want it to be. So I would say do that for the things that are more automated oriented, like Faceless channels. Something that's more in person or more personal, you might not want to do that. You might want to do like a more like up close and personal type of like view with it all. Another question is, how do you use Gemini or ChatGPT to write scripts that keep people watching? And again, it's your idea. So before you come to Gemini or to ChatGPT with anything and have it altered or tweak, make sure you're just approaching it with your own strong idea, and it keeps people watching based off of your analytics. That's something that Gemini might not be able to tell you, or ChatGPT not be able to write for you. So it's up to you to kind of go to your analytics, see what your audience needs, see what your audience wants to see, and then from there develop your idea. And those scripts are the ones that will keep people watching. The ones that are based off your analytics are the ones that they actually want to see. So you want to pay attention to that and not just listen to the ChatGPT. Listen to yourself and your analytics, which are already there, which have nothing to do with the AI. Another question I have here is, how much time does AI actually save you in a typical production week? And it can save tons. One thing that I've been preaching like really heavily is like I'm very good. I love creating, and I'm good at writing, and I'm good at thinking of ideas. But I remember when this all started, one of the things that took me the longest were the thumbnails and kind of the perfect title generation. And I'm very happy with the way AI can assist you in that now, because instead of me sitting there on Canva and tweaking every little thing for the thumbnail, because I can see it in my head how I want it to be, but it would take so much work to get from how I wanted it to be to what it would look like. And luckily with AI, you can kind of use, if you can describe well enough, your product can look exactly like how you described if you say the right words, was what I've learned with AI. So that's where I'm at with my thumbnails, is that I can see it in my head and I'm able to describe it in a way where it can spit it out in seconds. And that was something that took hours before. So really, really good way to use AI for the thumbnails. And you can still stick to the traditional design tools because they're still there. You can use Canva, you can grab an AI pic, throw it in Canva, mix it around in there, and vice versa. So don't be afraid to like use what we used to have just because we have like new things here. All right, another question is, what is the biggest mistake people make when they start using AI on YouTube? Okay, this is a big one because there's a lot of people getting channels deleted, demonetized, all of that because of some of the AI videos considered slop. They are being taken down because it's repetition content. So if you're creating the same video or the same voiceover in every single video and it just looks any bit of slop or not creative enough or oversaturated, not change, same thumbnails, similar titles, all of that, those channels are being taken down right now under the description of AI slop. So you really need to make sure that, one, you are checking off that it is AI content. That is another thing. Multiple platforms are taking down content that's not toggled for AI content. So you want to be honest and upfront. If you choose to use it in terms of thumbnails or whatever it is, make sure your audience knows you're using it and you will be okay. That is the biggest thing that people need to know, because some people think they're being cute, like going online and creating whatever with AI and then just putting it out as if they're theirs. That's a big no-no. People are being demonetized and having accounts all across social media taken down for not being honest about that. And honestly, for your audience, that's the least you could do, because for a lot of us, this creator world has been here for a while and we've been in it with our brains only, and now that it's not that way, you owe it to your audience kind of to let them know, like, you've had assistance with this, so that they know that what they're reading or what they're taking in is not just all of a human brain. I think that that's important. So the biggest mistake, people not being honest. Make sure you're honest with the AI generation on YouTube and all over social media. Should I disclose AI tools in my video descriptions? Yes, like I just said, that's a perfect way. Like, I'm always like go overboard, like toggle it off, and yes, put it in description, put it everywhere, because you don't want to be demonetized or taken down for something that you could just put a little disclaimer and you would have been fine. All right, so I have, let's see, some YouTube questions here as well. My views are stuck at 200 per video. How can I break the algorithm plateau? Okay, so this is something, you know, I've reached myself as a creator in the past 6 years of doing videos. And my biggest advice for this, especially for my students, is just always turn the corner. And when I mean that is, whatever you're doing, do something else. And you are like throwing darts at a dartboard and you just have to see which one hits the middle. One thing might take off while another doesn't. Audience, popularity, and subject, the day, everything falls into play when it comes to posting a video. So if one thing doesn't work on one day, try it a different day, and then tomorrow try something else. Once you see that one thing stick, that's what you draw off from and you create from and you branch off from. But you do need that one thing to stick. And I think that that's what it takes to break the algorithm plateau, is to kind of like, you shatter it yourself. Like, you create another topic that is popular enough to break the algorithm plateau, if that makes sense. You're not stuck. There's always something else to talk about to kind of like make that curve and be something else and find a new audience. It's always there. Let's see, how do I find a niche that isn't already oversaturated? So this can be done just by looking on Google through what's saturated, what's not, and just doing like standard research. But I think more importantly is making sure you really love the niche. I always tell my students, in terms of like finding a niche on YouTube, you're gonna be researching it and talking about it and editing it every single day if you're trying to do YouTube full time or create income from it. So my advice for a niche is make sure that you love it. Sure, make sure it's not oversaturated, and sure, make sure that there's money in it, but more than anything, make sure that you love it, because it takes some time to become monetized. It takes some time to grow. So there will be months and months that go by where you're literally just speaking about and doing work and editing and researching topics that you aren't being paid for and you're not getting revenue for. So you have to make sure you love it and really enjoy it at the end of the day. And whether it's oversaturated or not is less of a worry, whether more so that you like it, love what you're doing. Let's see. What's the secret to writing a title to get people to click immediately? Honestly, I say clickbait. I always have said that, like, use clickbait, but be the bait that's being clicked. Like, always use a powerful hooking title, but make sure when they open that video, you're giving them exactly that. Like, be as dramatic in the video and as big as your clickbait title. And I don't think that there's a problem using one when you do it that way. So that's just my advice for that. How do you handle haters or negative comments as your channel grows? So one thing that I remember learning while I was teaching myself YouTube is that every comment matters. So if someone writes something negative or even constructive criticism, it's in your best interest to comment back, because YouTube algorithm counts every comment as a comment. They don't know whether it's someone reading you or being mean or being nice and complimenting the channel. So every comment counts as a comment, which kind of brings you to that whole idea of everyone always saying like, oh, all press is good press type thing, because that's what it really feels like, because every comment is a comment and means something to the algorithm. It's saying people are talking about this video, people are invested in this moment. So that's the best way to handle haters. They're building you up. They're getting your channel bigger. They're helping you grow. They're helping you reach wavelengths and brand deals and monetization. And they usually don't even know it, because they're usually just hating people and they really don't even know about the system or the platform. So use that to your advantage. Comment back nicely, keep things moving, stay focused on your goals. For some reason, out of all the social media platforms that I've ever worked on, people are the meanest on YouTube, and it can be really frustrating and really hard to work through, especially when all your dreams and everything you want to do is within this platform, and there are constantly people like beating down your channel or beating you down as an individual for whatever reason it may be. It does exist here. So you got to stay strong, you got to stay resilient, and keep the idea and the vision of everything you have in mind for your own personal goals. Keep that stronger than anything else, and just fly. All right, what else do I have here? How long should I give a channel before deciding it's a failed experiment? That's a hard one. I would honestly say maybe 6 months to a year, because it can take that long for something to pop off. So you kind of have to be patient. And again, if you did 3 videos and it's been a year, the problem is the consistency. You definitely want to make sure, if you're going to give it that 6 months to a year, you're posting every week for that 6 months to a year before you can really make a true decision. Because it can take a minute. The algorithm takes a minute to catch on, the audience takes a minute to catch on and gain trust. All that is time. So 6 months to a year is nothing in terms of like getting started and deeming something failing or successive in YouTube, because it can take that long just to be noticed. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, what is the first thing you look at in your YouTube analytics every morning? I would say I keep, everyone's different with this, but I always want to make sure my audience is growing and I have people to speak to. So I definitely keep an eye on the subscribers as well as the views and just the ratio of that. Like after I post a video or anything, see how many subscribers came from that, or what it might take to kind of like grow that is kind of like where I keep my mind at. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, there's a lot here. Okay, maybe I will do like a part 2. If you guys want to see like a part 2 of this, I do have a lot more questions here. I took a lot from you guys that were around. I got a lot gathered here. So maybe I will do a part 2. I still have some like monetization and business questions here. Lots of faceless channel questions. Yeah, let's do another one. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful to you and if you want me to do a part 2, and I will definitely do so. Anyone who's looking for individual coaching or help me help you build your own channel and create monetization on YouTube and beyond, that link is in the description box down below. And I hope I can hear from some of you guys. I'm already having so much fun working with new students for this year and building some really pretty cool channels with some people who have some really great ideas. So I'm having a blast, and I appreciate you guys for enjoying my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.